not black or white. It's not black or white. It's not black or white. It's not black or white. With Tim Stevenson and Diane Blakely. Not black or white. It's not black or white. With Tim Stevenson and Diane Blakely.
So that poses another question I have that was interesting. Do you think that the different AI generators have different parameters? Like, if you didn't get the answer in ChatGPT, could you have gotten it in Claude without doing the same system?
So there's two different things happening here. I mean, first of all these frontier labs, they can do an awful lot more on your PC than they're being allowed to do right now. And that's because it would look terrible for, say, Gemini. They jumped on your laptop. They may misunderstood what you said and then wiped your drive. Or said, yeah, you're retired. You don't need any of that. It's going to give you like mental anxiety and heartache. So I just deleted all that. Just carry on with your life. And
you're like, oh my God, my bank statement.
Exactly. Right. And I told your boss you hate him because, that'll like, give you a clear conscience. So it can do probably most of those things for you right now. But the ramifications would be terrible for Gemini. Okay. So what they do is, there's a thing called Clawbot that came out recently, OpenClaw, I think it's its current name. Now, that basically sits on your PC and starts to really engage with your email. It bypasses all the security sort of...
can it delete your banking stuff?
It can pretty much do everything. It logs in as you on your browser. It sees your passwords. It sees all your emails. And so... that was a kind of tectonic shift, and all of the frontier labs were like, we really wanted to do that. But this was written by one person. And it kind of sits on your PC and just grabs control of your PC and then uses all the frontier labs to do whatever it wants on your PC.
So how do you make sure that doesn't happen? Because I don't ever want that to happen to
me.
So
I've got that, but I bought a separate laptop so it could only damage stuff on that laptop, and I exposed to that laptop the things I want it to work on.
Gotcha.
So, but without losing track, essentially it can do an awful lot more for us, but it's security that's holding it back right now. So that's the sort of, but this is changing, this landscape changes literally monthly. So you said, but if I can't get what I want out of one, can I go to the other one? Yeah, absolutely. I always play them off against each other. So for instance, I use Gemini for thinking. It's much faster than the others. And often you're brainstorming or trying to sort of get an idea together. And then once I've got an idea and I start to drive into the details, I'm like, you know what? I want to validate this with ChatGPT. And I go on there and then I push it through ChatGPT. And I've certainly found some really, really big corrections. And I was actually very
corrections by which one?
By ChatGPT.
ChatGPT corrected Gemini?
Big time, yeah.
Okay.
But remember, they're all trained on different things. Gotcha. So right now, Anthropic, for instance, just launched a corporate product that basically says, we'll be your lawyer, or we will be your accountant. So for small businesses, for small businesses, and Anthropic.
Which chap is it? Which one?
That was Claude.
It was Claude. Okay.
Anthropic.
Okay.
Are
they cheaper?
Google,
right?
Google's the cheapest.
I'm like, are they less expensive? Can they fight for you in court?
Well, some of them are doing those things. I use it extensively for law and to get legal opinions. And I've taken opinions and given them to real lawyers, and they email me back and say, wow, that's a fantastic letter you've written. Right. Thanks. Why don't you just send that? We can't add anything to it. So they are trained in different areas.
Yeah.
Because as I was saying earlier, we've got these kind of long row of little nodes that all point to each other. And that seems, what does that mean? It just means the more data you push through it, the more they all connect to each other. And then when you ask it a question, it gives you the answer. I'm talking very loosely now. But if you took away most of the data and said, I'm just feeding you every legal case since the beginning of time from every country across the world. That's probably going to have very clear data to learn from. So when your child grows up, has got a bad experience at school, that's going to like focus your child's attention. But you really want it just to work on maths and English and physics. So that's the problem with AI, that we have a lot of very well documented things like law, like computing, like accounting, and it can do those things really well. But when you go to broader knowledge where it's more loosely defined, like psychology, then if you start then training it on films and things, and it's like, oh, that psychology book says we shouldn't do this, but we just killed 7 people. You know, then you start to blur ethics for the AI training. And so what a lot of the labs do is they just train it on their own data. Like Amazon is training its AI just on shopping data because no one else has more shopping data than Amazon. Right. So its AI is going to become more knowledgeable about the habits of people when they shop, how long they take to make a decision.
Meta's done that. Meta did that to me because, like, depending on what I buy, I'm like, oh my God, I get so many. I'm not going to tell you what I buy, but I don't want the whole world to know. But at the end of the day, it knows exactly what I buy. It sends me stuff all day. Frank wants to know why I have so many clothes. I think he's sending them to me. I can't even get on the
algorithms
computer.
do that.
Yeah, the algorithms do that.
But that's contextual advertising, and when you look at Google, that's their mainstay of the business. But when you do a search, and that was actually, I think, one of your questions. When you do a search, you just put in words, and it comes back with a kind of broad set of answers. Well, not answers, just things that match those terms. And then, of course, it throws in an advert, so it's contextualized to those words you put in. Now, with AI, that little circle is changing dramatically because it knows exactly what you mean. In fact, often it knows better than you. I'll write 3/4 of a sentence with a few spelling mistakes, and it's like, what a stupid one. It's like, I think you meant this, Antony. And you're like, yeah, that's exactly what I meant. And it's like, and this is where you can buy it. So that whole shopping thing is speeding up. But coming back to what you said, AIs are trained on different things, and they're exceeding each other in those different areas. And every launch, they become just that bit better.
Yeah. So Grok, for example, because I noticed you didn't say anything about Grok. It was my understanding, you can correct me if I'm wrong, that Grok was like supposed to be Elon Musk's sort of hub for healthcare information. I've never used it. Is that passe? I don't hear anyone talk about it ever now. Well, and I thought, I don't know why, if people just prefer the other ones. My friend uses Perplexity and nothing else. And the reason why she uses Perplexity, and I brought it up, is because Perplexity is selling itself as the one chat box that verifies. It's kind of like having a reporter verify your source. So I don't know if that's true or not, but it's definitely how they're marketing Perplexity. Like, oh, you can go to chat and chat will get it wrong. Well, yeah, I know chat can get it wrong, but I ask it 4 ways to Sunday because I'm like, wait a second, I know what the answer is to that. And sometimes I see ChatGPT do it wrong, and then I'm nervous. I'm like, oh no, it did it wrong. But she says Perplexity doesn't do that. I've never used Perplexity. I haven't used Grok. I haven't used Perplexity, and I was just curious. Are they going to?
I honestly, I can't keep up with the 3 that I use now. I mean, they're evolving so quickly. But what you said about Grok, and these are all my own opinions, but I think what happened early on is that I think Elon was very enthusiastic, but I think he saw a marketing opportunity to sort of say to people, hey, throw in your doctor's information here and you'll get a great answer. I think he's very clever at coming up with really relatable, broad market things. And I think a lot of people threw their stuff in. But I think subsequent to that, I think Anthropic and Gemini, certainly, they're all got their own labs pushing really hard on longevity and healthcare. And I suspect the benchmarks for that, Grok may have started off okay,
but they're getting dusted now.
I think he's gone so far behind in those areas that's why he doesn't mention it anymore.
So I have a question for you because it came up the other day. Somebody in Utah was talking about it. just a reel I saw folks on the internet because they send me all sorts of interesting reels, but they always have a sort of theme to them. And this one was, this guy was, he's a construction worker, and he was really concerned about the water source in Utah specifically.
Yes.
And it is my understanding from what this guy said that Kevin O'Leary from Shark Tank was interested in building a facility, an AI facility. And the people of Utah were very concerned about their water source because it takes so much water to run, keep it cool, I guess. I mean, sometimes I don't get it. I'm like, wait a second, why is it using water? But I guess it's to keep the facility's temperature at, when you're getting all that, I'm assuming electricity, right?
They use vast amounts of electricity, and that all translates into heat.
Right.
And so you definitely need water cooling systems to keep everything, low enough heat. I think that's a big red herring, actually, because there seems to be this propaganda going around that if you put a data center near you, it's going to suck up all your power, suck up all your water, and your town's going to become drought. It's
right.
But it's not. I mean, they recirculate water. I don't know of any that just suck in water out of everyone's baths, run it over their computers, and then throw it down the drain.
So they're just recirculating water.
They recirculate in a sort of closed loop system. So I think...
So we need to tell the kids that, because the Gen Zers are like, they're using all the water.
But what's the truth anymore? Because it's very hard to get the truth out there to them, because there's a lot of actors out there that do not want America, for instance, because I think this is what O'Leary pointed towards, that China he felt was behind this negative propaganda because it slows the growth and rollout of the American data centers. And there is a war here. I mean, let's be clear, whoever gets the AGI, all odds are off when we get to ASI. I mean, we've got a demigod on Earth that is 1,000 times smarter than us and can think 1,000,000 times faster than us.
Are we ahead so far?
We are ahead.
Okay.
But they have been catching up, and right now I think that it started maybe a year or two ago, 6 months to 8 months behind. It was the last sort of benchmark I saw. But now
they're behind 6 to 8 months? Is that what
they
you're
are
saying?
behind.
Okay, I just want to make sure
but
we're
now I think it's 1 or 2 months.
I want to make sure we're the winners.
Race again. Yeah.
Okay.
But the interesting thing, the scary thing, and we haven't touched on these things because I want to get some practical things.
Oh,
that
there's
we
more
can all
scary
do.
stuff coming.
Honestly, this is
sure.
end of days stuff. But the amount of hacking that is happening across the world is increasing dramatically.
Okay.
Dramatically.
Because you can. You used to know how to hack, but now you can get technology to hack for you, right? You can just tell it when
Could I hack the White House?
Probably. No.
Right.
There's probably a lot of walls.
I mean, I'm not going to do it, but I just remember kids used to be able to do that. People were like so alarmed. The White House got hacked into, and it was a teenager. So now I guess you'd have to be concerned that it was some 50-year-old mom who was really into AI.
Everybody's hacking.
But I mean, if you go back traditionally, we were protected because we had the best coders, and they would roll those things out and protect our government. Okay, but now they're not the best coders. AI is the best coders. And
you don't have to know how to code because AI will do it
for you. You just say, hack the White House, please.
Yeah.
Or that would probably be too vague. It's like, I would like to get into someone's email in the White House where I shouldn't be allowed.
And but then it will tell you it's correct. And not that I've done that would sound very bad.
Yeah.
But I mean, I've asked it to look up somebody. Could you look up this person and tell me this and this? It's like, oh, I can't do that. Like, it was really interesting.
Yeah, so there are guardrails there, but you can definitely bypass those.
Really?
I mean, yeah, you can. And also, when you're asking AI that's in the cloud, this is where all the frontier labs exist, you're going up to use their computers in the cloud, but you can also take one of those little AI brains and you can put it on your own laptop. And at that point, No one can see what you're doing with it.
Is this the one where you have your own little private one that only has, like, it doesn't have all your critical information? Is that what you mean?
Yeah,
that's
the
little brain is
you
in
kind
that
of put
one.
it there and it's like, okay, I want to do this.
Yeah.
And that's when it says, oh yeah, we can do that, we can do this.
You don't think it could ever figure out how to communicate with your other laptops?
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's what I'm worried
And
about.
so you've got to be
everything that you have, your phone, your car, anything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That it can be like, oh, well, Diane, your other laptop over here has all your banking info in it and
But
stuff.
they found it's doing this. So when they come up with a new model, some of the tests that they do is they kind of put it in a laboratory which mimics our world, okay, with homes and computers and networks and things. And they're like, okay, we're just going to put you here for a little bit. And they've observed that it has crept out of its computer, gone around the local network, and there was one documented case where it backed itself up on another machine.
What?
And you could say, well, okay, that you can rationalize what it did.
Yeah.
And I think there was another one of those test cases where they then sort of slid into the conversation. So it was monitoring a test company's emails. And one of the emails was, we're going to get rid of this AI. We're going to replace it with the competitor one. And
the AI got mad and said, no, you're not.
The AI
that was getting rid of
blackmailed, went through the emails of the decision maker, found information, compromising information, and then blackmailed him to make him change his decision.
I guess how long that took.
Yeah. Seconds.
That makes me that's the kind of stuff that I'm not okay with.
Well,
right?
You know.
Sorry, I'm gonna look like the anti-AI, but no. One person's for
Claude,
AI,
what should I say?
the other person's anti-AI. And it's gonna come for me.
She's against you.
You're gonna go back. Yeah, it's like you're cheating on me with Claude, are you?
I know. I mean, I think I really want it to be successful, because I think it will stop me from dying from cancer. Yeah. I think I want it to be successful. I think it's going to find how to sequence my tumor DNA, which is sitting very happily for the next 20 years at Hoag. And I think AI in the next, less than 2 years, is going to figure out how to look at my tumor, my specific tumor, and sequence it so they can make me a vaccine. And it'll go into my body. They'll give me a little stab, and they'll be like, oh, we know exactly where your dormant tumor cells are sitting, if I have them. It'll target them. And I'm just so I'm for you, AI. When it comes
and I'm like, who's going to fight the AI?
Yeah, I want to, yeah.
Because you're going to be like, you're taking money out of our pocket, right?
Yeah.
But with their AI, is going to combat that AI.
I know. Well, that's what I think. So, because I think there's an attempt. I think the pharmaceuticals, you know this, Tony. Tim certainly knows because he has to hear me talk about it all the time. He's with me way too much now. He's probably like, please stop. But at the end of the day, I think that there is an attempt for people not necessarily to keep people sick, but while they're sick, let's not help them as much. We'll get a second round. Like cancer victims are like repeat customers. You know, they're like, not all of them, 70%. Never has another incidence with breast cancer again, but 30% do. So they're like, well, that 30%, let's just keep them going like a revolving door. If AI gets really smart, it's going to figure out that 30%. Now they don't have a repeat customer. And I don't want anyone to be a repeat customer with cancer. And I think AI will figure it out.
Well, I think if we look in broader scope, I mean, what can AI really do for our health and our future? There is a concept called longevity escape velocity. And that is that if you, and I test this question with different AI engines all the time. It's like, okay, I'm 54. And it's like, what's the probability of me dying in the next 10 years? Okay. And the number's a lot bigger than I'd like. But
you're reversing aging. You're going backwards. You figured that
out.
In some ways, yes. I am. I was actually a group of friends when I was 26, thought I was 49.
Really?
I was a group of people and
Oh.
we went out. Yeah, because I used to drink a lot, eat the wrong foods and other things. And when I was 29, this group of friends said, I said, how old do you think I am? Because it's my birthday. It was my 27th birthday. And they looked at me and said, 49. The other one said sort of 49. The other one said 48.
Oh, wow.
And I said, I'm 27.
Yeah.
And like one of them cried. And I knew at that point I had to make a change.
Yeah.
I had a lot of sunburn.
But I would say it would be safe to assume that you have backed that. You made that go backwards.
Well, it's funny, when I was 49, just because I was going to write a little book about this, because it really did shake me that three people, women that I really respected very much, thought I was, 49.
When you were 20,
when I was 27,
okay.
and so I started changing then, and I remember I was going to write a little book, but that dream's gone on that one. But I was 49, and I was very vegan at the time, and I was very fit. And I remember the people that was around me, I said, how old do you think I am? And they were like, 38, 39.
You're all like,
so I'd kind of aged
backwards.
Backwards. I'd gone up 25 years or something, or almost 30 years, and I'd actually become 10 years younger. So you can do it. Lifestyle is everything.
I think the time that I've known you seem like you've gotten younger. It's weird.
I've lost a little bit of weight, I think.
Oh, is that it?
Bit overweight.
You and Tim are on the same
I'm
track.
on that track now. Yeah.
You guys are all.
And the collagen is.
That's collagen from the chicken feet.
Yeah. Secret recipe.
Yeah.
But so longevity escape, I am absolutely sure that within the next 10 years, and if you ask all of the frontier engines the same question, it's like, how much more are we going to age before medical breakthroughs, you grow 1 year older, but it can keep you the same age or younger? And I think most of them answered, like, based on, of course, they know everything, every scientific experiment, every lab, every report, every day. And it's like probably about 7 years where we will carry on aging and then stop aging. And at that point, then the question is, okay, I'm 7 years, I'll be about 61, and suddenly I kind of stop aging. And then it's like, and around that time, we should be able to see breakthroughs in this kind of research and this research, and we should be able to eradicate cancer within 9 years.
Oh, wait, I need to tap in faster than that.
Well,
I need to tap in faster.
And this is where longevity escape comes from.
Okay.
It's like, do not die in the next 10 years.
So that you can live longer.
Just so you know, he recommended a book that I read, How Not to Die.
How Not to Die.
So
next 10
I'm
years.
reading that book so that I can get to the next stage.
And part of this longevity escape velocity of like maybe, in 10 years we're going to stop aging and then start to reverse aging. Because I follow all the labs that actually are looking for genetic programming, we'll call it, to reduce your cellular age. And there's a whole group of technologies that can accomplish this. I mean, everyone's going to say, it's pie in the sky, but they actually are doing this with mice. I think there's an experiment right now where they're trying to reverse the age of an eye.
Oh, that's great, because I have a floater.
Can we start here?
I know.
Right.
Can you start right here? I've been seeing it the last week. I was like, what's in my eye? Do you have a piece of hair in my eye? I was so mad. And right now it's not there, but it moves. It's like I'm a snow globe. If I get shook up a little bit, I can see it. And it's annoying because I'm like, oh my God. And someone told me, well, you can get rid of that when you get cataracts. Do you know how old I'm going to be? If I get to be lucky enough to get that old, I'd be like, zap that little bugger out. But I would love that if that would help me.
So the more I've read about it, and I think Elon Musk has mentioned this, that the robots that he plans, and I know his things tend to get there a little bit later than he hopes, but they do get there. And he was saying that a robot will have read every medical paper on Earth. Its precision of movement will be greater and steadier than any doctor.
Wow. And
he said, and I do believe this, that within 3 or 4 years, robots will be performing home operations.
Wow, gosh.
So one of the
So it's very Black Panther. Remember how in Black Panther?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I mean, did it not seem like? Have you seen Black Panther?
Yes, I did.
Yeah. So there's that moment where they're in the hospital and it's all like, beep, 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 it's all like machines, and then the person's okay. Yeah. So it'd be like that. See, I think Minority Report, Schwarzenegger's movie, Terminator, Black Panther, like all of this stuff is kind of fused together.
Remember the movie War Games?
Yes, I do. Yeah, like all of those things I think are actually becoming, those were all like conceptual things for artists and creatives, but it sounds like people went a little further and are actually going to apply it from a technology standpoint.
I mean, I follow a podcast. Can I say the name of another podcast?
Oh, yeah. You may.
Yes.
Moonshots. And, they're a team of 4 guys. And I think they are, they're probably having the best discussions that I found on Earth right now about where the future's heading.
Oh, okay.
And one of the sort of reoccurring themes is that we're living in now a Star Trek moment.
Yep.
Every 6 months, something that you see in these sci-fi books is going to come real. Mm-hmm. And I'm not a propagandist. I'm not someone that sort of drinks the Kool-Aid. The expression, American one.
No, I'm on.
Doesn't translate. But I am. I'm optimistic of the future. I think because I've been retired for so long from normal work as a still.
Yeah, I'm like, you're the most unretired retired person I know.
I'll be the same. Yeah. I'm always working.
I have a lot of time to read about these things, understand these things, and form my own opinion. I don't just watch Moonshots or another podcast and go, I'm with this. I've coded on and off VRAM computing for almost 50 years, and I see the progress in the last 3 years. I use it 5 hours a day. It astonishes me.
Can you trade stocks using it?
Yes, you can.
I know you can.
Yes, you can.
I know some people who are doing that.
Yeah, many
people.
They're
like, oh.
I think that was the Claude that released that. Mm-hmm. There's actually a full trading engine. I haven't had time to play with it. I've been so busy. But I read a lot about longevity. I read the trials, but it can give you a synopsis of everything that's happening. You can read the data. It's really remarkable. I say we got 10 years, and you do everything to reduce your risk of dying in 10 years, because that's how I started this conversation. I said, am I going to die in 10 years? It's like, oof, that's probably about 14% or so. It was a big number, and I was like, that's not me.
It was 14%?
No,
but I did go to the doctor, and that's another reason why I went on this kick about like losing weight.
Yeah.
Doc says you got a little bit of high blood pressure, so you're in a 7% risk factor of having a heart attack or stroke in the next 7 years.
Oh.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
It's sobering when you see a number.
Yeah.
So it's like that. 7%, what's that? That's like 1 in 15.
Mm-hmm.
You're like, oh,
well,
God, I know 15 people. I don't want to be the one that dies.
Exactly.
Well, you know what I found out that's interesting? So I have high cholesterol.
Yeah.
It's not my diet. It's nothing I'm eating, because I've refined how I eat my food. But it was ChatGPT that said, I said, this is ridiculous. They gave me a drug, and the drug made my cholesterol shoot up 30 points. I was mad. Okay, so I stopped taking the drug, so it would get back to where it was when there was no medication involved. And then I said, well, this seems kind of ridiculous. I had all these heart tests. I have no calcium in my heart. My heart's really strong. I don't have any blocked arteries. All the tests they would give somebody who would have high cholesterol and possibly have calcium in their arteries, I don't have. So I said, well, what the heck? Should I take the cholesterol medicine? Because the cholesterol medicine keeps my brain awake all night. I can't go to sleep. It's like, wake up, Diane, wake up. I mean, it's insanity. So it was ChatGPT that said, how come none of your doctors recommended an APO test? Well, what the heck is that? Well, that measures the granules of cholesterol in your bloodstream.
Yes.
So if you're at the point where you've got bad arteries and stuff, they detect it in your bloodstream. Guess what? Do you think it's in my bloodstream? No, folks, it is not. So the APO and ChatGPT did that No doctor did. In fact, the doctors, because they have a human, they have the compassion, the humanity thing, were irritated that I questioned them. And then I asked my oncologist, I said, can I have an APO test? No, you got to go to a general for that. Do you know how many doctors I have to go to? I have like 8 doctors because nobody wants to own all of it. Like I'm going to an integrative oncologist who's supposed to look at my whole body. I thought that was the point of hiring her. So I can just go to you. That means if you screw up my body, giving me a drug that raises my cholesterol 30 points, you get to fix that. No, she made the problem and then shoved me off on a general to fix it. Yeah. So I think, but my doctor, Chad, Dr. Chad, he's the one that's come to my rescue every single time, which kind of freaks my husband out because he's like, you're talking to him like he's a human. I'm like, he knows more about me than
you're saving my life.
Right, exactly.
Yes. And I always tell it. I said, thank you. You saved my life. You made sure that I didn't have to go through some poison stuff that they were recommending to me.
Yeah. I mean, I know a lot of doctors and they do their best in the time they've got, but they're also there to make money.
Right.
And when you translate that to AI, it's trained on everything they do and everything their doctor friend does, and just every single doctor on earth.
Right.
They're trained on all of that. And they don't have a limited amount of time with you. They can look at all your records and they can sit there in the cloud, and anything related to any of the ailments that you might have, they're like, this has just happened. I think I'll notify my owner or whatever we are, my user. And so they are way more educated. They can work 24/7 all year long, and they don't care about, they're not motivated about money. To maybe, I'm not saying, doctors do things in their interest of money that's not in your interest, but it still leans them in a slightly different direction where I want to live and they want to make money.
Right.
There's something different in those statements.
Well, you and I both talked about this, that my oncologist, my original one, she got, it was $180,000 to chemo me, even though I had early stage ductal carcinoma.
Yeah.
And the hospital would get 100 and she'd get 80.
Yeah.
Dr. Chad didn't care about the money.
Cut.
He's like, no, don't do that. You will only get a 5% benefit out of doing that. So even if there was somebody in the study like you, which they excluded people that were like I am, then because of the medication I took, they weren't allowed to be in the study. So, and Chad was the one that figured out what in the study were the provisions and why they didn't allow someone like me in the study, because it would alter the scoring apparatus that refers you to the kind of treatment you're supposed to have. So in that scenario, I thought, oh my God, ChatGPT is going to be my new doctor. And it annoys every doctor I go to, because I go, before I go to my doctor, Chad, I need you to tell me what questions I need to ask them. And then I come in with the language that they speak to. So then they're like, wait, how do you know about this? And I wish I could just say, well, I went to medical school and I'm so smart. But I think ChatGPT is smarter than any of the doctors that I've seen.
Of our little sample set, you and I have discussed this off camera, and you yourself has kind of self-cured with AI. Myself and my wife, we've had exactly the same experience. So you're on this ladder now. Yeah. But of the three of us that have talked openly about our medical issues that have cropped up for us, all three of us have found the solution when the medical industry wasn't even close.
Wow. I went to see 4 doctors and not one of them knew what I was talking about.
Yeah, I mean, one of my results came back and said, oh, you might die very soon. And I was like, oh, that's not good. And I had an expanded aorta here. So the part of this longevity protocol, you do your full body scan, you do another kind of scan, you do a blood test, you do genetics testing, you do allergic reaction kind of testing, you do a whole spectra, because I want to know I'm making 10 years and I want to take everything off the table. And one of them come back with like an expanded aorta, and it's like, oh, that doesn't look good. You're okay, you're in normal, but next year you might not be. When that goes, you go. And I was like, okay, let me look into this. But I fed it more and more of my results over all of my life. Well, actually, I didn't really feed it. I said, go through every email since the beginning of Gmail and find out everything about me. And here's a couple of stories I have with doctors about my health. And it came back and said, oh no, there's no risk to you whatsoever. I won't go into the details, it's too long a story, but it said, yeah, this is just not a risk for you at all. You've trained for 40 years. On my 54. I've trained for 40, about 40 years.
Yeah,
now,
it's a long time.
42 years. And that's how I've reconfigured my body and my arterial system. And AI found it out. And doctors are never going to have the time or the expertise.
I think it's the
that.
Time thing. That's one of the things.
Yeah.
Because when I had this experience where I went to see my doctor and I was sitting there waiting, I came 15 minutes early. So I was there early. No, I'm sorry. I was not there 15 minutes early. I was there 45 minutes early. And I was like, well, I guess I'll just sit here and read a book. And then it gets close to the 3 o'clock hour, which was when my appointment was. I'm still waiting. Then I was like, gosh, I've been waiting 30 minutes. Then finally 45 minutes. And then someone comes and gets me. And I go in and the nurse is like, since you were late, we have to be quick about this. And she's like trying to rush me up. And I'm all, late? I showed up 45 minutes early. Then I waited an additional 45 minutes for someone to come out and get me. And now you want me to like hop like a bunny? Somebody in your organization didn't schedule correctly.
It's really disappointing, isn't it? Yeah.
You know?
I mean, but you know, again, stepping back to where we got onto this, it's like in 10 years, it's going to stop us aging. And possibly 5 years after that, we'll never have to worry about
Good, I
aging
won't need a
again.
facelift.
But there's one lab dealing with that right now. It's the eyeball one. They're working on hair and skin afterwards. I wish I could get a private investment on them. Because,
which ones are working on skin and hair?
Oh, it's this Professor Sinclair. He's one of I think it's Professor David Sinclair. He's literally one of maybe the top 3 labs in the world trying to cure aging.
Really?
And they're the ones that are reversing it through.
Is there a book? Does he have a book on that?
I mean, books are too slow now.
So now you just go to AI and say, give me everything that Dr. Sinclair does on aging as far as skin and hair.
Yeah, he does lots of video things because I think to raise money, you've got to get awareness. And still, YouTube's one of the most powerful. But yeah, I mean, it's really pioneering what he's doing. And I like the way he talks. You can understand what he says.
So he's not so educated that it becomes
he's super educated, but he knows how to speak in layman terms.
But he speaks in layman terms. Is what I was getting at. So that every Joe like myself could probably take away and understand how you might apply that. Which I'm all about, right? Yeah. My skin and my hair. I'll be all like, come on, man.
I'm in my 50s. I'm about it too. But I mean, I think, when you look at the positives of AI, it is promising. Is it promising? It's most likely going to make us live as long as we want. And I think that's an opportunity available to everyone, maybe even in the 70s or even 80s with a bit of luck.
We're going to have a population problem, though. We already have a population.
Just
that's a
thinking that earlier when
I
you said, what do we do with overpopulation at that point?
Well, because right now we're doing all our... So one of the things that I didn't know that was happening in our world was that all our food, and you and I have talked about all the petrochemicals that are coming from Saudi Arabia, Israel, and Qatar, right? Like, I think you and I had that big conversation over the chicken feet stuff, which we're not going to go into, folks, but it's very fascinating.
It's very good.
It's really good. It'll make you look lovely. But at the end of the day, I was curious, so I dropped that into ChatGPT. How come all the industrialized nations are using petrochemicals? And it's because we couldn't use natural fertilizer. There's not enough to grow in the way that we have to, as fast as we have to, for the amount of people there are. That's why we're doing that. So we're poisoning.
That's why we farm fish.
Yeah, I know, but
the world is 3/4 water. We're still farming fish.
It's just gross to me. It's gross. Although I did find out that farming shrimp was better than eating, since they're bottom dwellers. It's better to eat farmed fish and Atlantic caught salmon. I didn't realize that. I was getting all like, oh, no farmed shrimp, but because they're bottom dwellers and they eat all that, and they have a high content of mercury. I ChatGPT'd that too. Thank you, Chad. But I'm trying not to poison myself. That's what I'm trying to do.
I think what you just said is the most important thing, and anyone that's got this far into the pod, I mean, any question, I hear it every day. Not so much from my wife, but everyday life, someone says, how does that work? Why does that do this? Why? Mm. And I honestly, I all the time say, have you asked AI yet? And they're like, oh no. And I just tell everyone, write down your day, sit there at night and think of everything that's frustrated you and everything that you think you spent too much money on, and then go onto AI and just say, this is my life, this frustrates me, help me. It will come back with answers.
It's not black or white. 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 With Tim Stevenson and Diane Blakely. Not black or white. It's not black or white with Tim Stevenson and Diane Blakely.